Okay, we'll get started with Torey in just a second. We'll start over here on the left.
Torey, congratulations.
Thank you.
I got a couple for you. Just first, obviously you've been through it as a bench coach, doing it in Boston. But just take me through those last few moments. That fly ball is hit out to right. What's going through your mind? How did what was those few moments like for you?
First of all, before I answer the question, I just want to say, it was an unbelievable NLCS. I want to obviously congratulate the Philadelphia Phillies on their success this season. They have a great general manager. They've got a great manager, and it was our honor to come and compete against them. But there's a lot of emotion. You're trying to compartmentalize things. You don't really know what's happening outside of the thought of getting 3 outs. That's all that I was focusing on. And we got to 2 outs. I felt like Paul was in total control of that. That last at bat, I let my mind wander for about 15 seconds in between pitches and thought, we're really close to doing something really special for the entire state of Arizona, for this organization that's had a lot of hardships over the past 36, 48 months. For us to be where we are right now, it was a good moment. And I allowed myself to go there. I try not to, because it's a dangerous thought, because you can be let down emotionally. But when it finally happened and I saw the fly ball go up, it was a pretty euphoric feeling. We're adrenaline junkies. It's in and out of that moment. And when it hits a high and you feel it, it's a flush through your body, and it gets no better.
Just related to the win, have you received a phone call from Chris Russo conceding? Does he send you a letter? How does this work?
I just talked to JP about that. He said he's a good friend of his, and I told him you gotta follow through. I know he and Stephen A. Smith go back and forth with all these broken promises. Like, somebody's got to follow through, and I know he probably worked his last day at the MLB Network, and we're taking applications over there in Arizona right now to work for the D-backs. We need good people. So it's good fun banter with he and I. He is a good man. He's a friend. I consider him a friend of mine. And the last time I spoke to him on the air, he said, well, I'm coming at you. We're going to keep coming at you and keep coming at you. He said, give it back to me when you feel like you can. So I am right now.
Torey, a couple things. Are you going to go from here to Texas or go back to Phoenix?
We are going to stay here tonight and then fly straight to Texas, give the boys a day off tomorrow, and then start working out on Thursday, right? Do I have those days right? Today's Tuesday?
Yep. So
that's the plan. So, instead we're going to make a left at Oklahoma and head straight south to Dallas.
During the season, if you and I were sitting here and you just won the NLCS, your bullpen has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
In mid-August, would you have thought that this was possible?
To be totally honest, no. I thought that was the area of our team that needed a little bit of a bump. And you said mid-August, right? Or did you say mid-July?
Mid-August, right?
A little bit of a bump. We got the pieces, but they hadn't yet shaped or formed. And it took a little time for us to understand what the new roles were and how people were going to be used. And I think once they got to that point where Paul was locking down that ninth and we were filling it in with Kevin, and at the time it was Kyle Nelson, because Andrew Saul Frank wasn't here yet, and then we picked up Thompson. It was one thing after another that fell into the right place, and once they got their roles, they took off. And to come into this environment and stand on a 4-2 lead, and we've done that several times down the stretch, not just in the playoffs. You've got a very capable bullpen. So the pieces were in place, and they started to take it over from there.
Greg, on the left.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate you.
For sure. So what's it mean to you? It's your second time here, right? Or second time in the playoffs.
Yeah.
First time to this level. What's it mean to you, and compare it to last time around in the playoffs?
Yeah, we were in and out of it so quickly in 17. We won that knockout game. I think that was an emotional high. And then, we walked into a very tough Dodger team, and they just washed us out. So it happened so quickly that I never really had a chance to enjoy the experience. It's hard to describe what each day brings. And there's a newness to each day, there's an excitement to each day, and then there's a curiosity to each day. And then when you walk in today for Game 7, there's an anxiousness and a nervousness that takes over, and it's unavoidable. But as I was watching the guys practice and get into their day, I started to feel a little bit more calm about where we were heading, and I knew they were in a good spot. But the days are cloudy. It's hard for me to separate days. It's hard for me to remember what happened 2 days ago versus what happened 3 days ago. I just know we've been on this quest as a group to go out and perform at the highest level possible, and we've been doing that with a certain energy. I know at the end of each day I am emotionally and physically exhausted because of the investment, and I know that everybody's been sharing that same experience, but somehow, some way, the next day we reload it, enjoy it, and get to work.
Down here in the front.
When you think about your personal journey as a baseball lifer, and all the minor league games, all the teams you played for, all the coaching you've done.
Yeah.
I know this is about the team, but you think about the scrap that you bring and everything, all the knowledge you've learned along the way.
Yeah.
You fit that you're a great fit for them, and players are a great fit for you as far as that relationship.
Yeah, I want to believe so. I just try to be my true, authentic self every single day, and yeah, I have to lead the team and sometimes make some tough decisions and have tough conversations. But I wouldn't trade one single piece of my career for how it went that led me to today. And trust me when I say there were some real hardships. There were some very dark days in my career, and we lost 110 games 2 years ago. So for me to sit here and tell you that I wouldn't trade that in, if you told me that I would have this, I'd be coming out the other side of it like this, I would understand why I was having to go through that. I've learned so much about myself. And, you know, the things that I really believe in and what I have to do every single day to keep remembering my own personal purpose and the path forward. It was a challenge. But like I said, I wouldn't trade it for one thing in the world, because I've learned so much about what it takes to be the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I couldn't be more proud to be this, what I am.
Take
To
two
be that.
more.
Sorry.
We'll take two more. John in the back, and then Jack up in the front.
Yes, congrats, Torey.
Thank you.
2 days ago when you got here, you said you didn't come cross country to get your butts kicked. You must have had some level of confidence when you said that. Why? Why did you believe?
You know, I was just trying to recalibrate things and make sure that the team knew that that we were coming here to play our best baseball. And that's been the messaging, and it's been very consistent throughout the course of the year. Today is going to be our finest hour, and I just wanted to make sure that they knew that's how I felt, because I know when I stand up here or sit up here, it's out of my mouth and in their hands on their phones, and I believed it. I said it a couple times as I was kind of getting into the day, and I got a chance to say it in front of you guys because I meant it. I meant that we were gonna reload, refocus, and even though it was a tough loss in Game 5, we still had a pulse. And when you stay connected the way we have been, you might need subtle reminders, but there are opportunities to kind of go out and do something and start a new day, and that was my mindset.
We'll finish up with Jack.
Torey, Tommy Pham had said something to me one day when I asked him, how do the young players maintain such, calm and I guess not being intimidated by the moment. Mm-hmm. And his comment was, right out of his mouth, they're prepared by the coaches. It's the coaching staff that's gotten them ready with all the information. You have an all-star coaching staff. So I'd just like you to kind of talk about how you put that staff together and how that all works.
Man, that makes me feel so good when I hear those types of things, because I love my coaches. And it's my job to coach the coaches and stay after them, much in the same as it's Mike Hazen's job to coach me and keep after me. And the way I depend on him, I know they probably depend on me and my messaging. And when you talk about the amount of trust and the faith, that blind faith that they have in me, because I can say some outlandish things or have some crazy ideas, they back me no matter what, and that means more to me than anything. So I am of the mindset that everybody needs direction, everybody needs a push, and everybody wants structure. And it's our job as coaches to never, ever come off of wasting a day and making somebody better. And I'm tough on coaches, believe it or not. You guys don't know that. I have discussions with them about things that I don't like that we got to get better at. And now it's kind of like clockwork. You know, I give them a certain look or a certain stare, and they're on it. It's kind of working so well. But the players deserve the credit for trusting the players. And love, trust, commitment, and effort are the backbone of our culture. So when a coach does that, and you build that backbone, and you start to gain that trust, players will listen. And it's easy to not listen when you're a player who's frustrated. But at their finest, at their toughest moments, the coaches go out there and coach their butts off, and that makes me feel good that Tommy acknowledged that.
All right, Torey, congratulations again.
Thanks, guys. All
We'll
right, Donald,
see you
thank you.
Thursday in Texas.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we'll get started with Corbin Carroll. First question for Corbin. Could start in the middle in the third row here.
Corbin, congratulations. Just if you could take me through what you're feeling as that ball's coming to you, as the series is about to come to an end, and just your thoughts in that moment.
Better squeeze it. Just they fought us hard all series, and so to be able to finally put it away and run towards that dog pile, just hell of a feeling.
I don't know if you've had a chance to reflect on this yet, but obviously a year that begins with the organization putting their faith in you with the type of long-term deal you had. I'm sure you envisioned getting here eventually. Did you view it as something that was this soon?
I didn't. I don't think. I won't speak for other people, but I thought it'd take a little more time. So to be able to do it in this first year just makes it all the more special.
A few more for Corbin. Over here on the right, third row, and then to Greg.
When you walked in, it sounds like you're in 3 inches of champagne in your feet. Is that about right?
Yeah, I'm kind of cold right now. Stayed dry for a little longer than most, but they got me eventually.
Can you talk about Cattell a little bit in the series MVP, and just, everybody's going to focus about your numbers tonight. You had a terrific game, obviously, but your teammate.
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't focus on my numbers. This has been so much more than just one person. I will speak about Cattell, but I think he's first just have to speak about this team and what an unbelievable, just team performance it's been this entire postseason. But yeah, Cattell, just special player. There was times this year where it was like, how do you even pitch this guy? And he's kind of back in that mode right now. It's special to watch.
Jack.
Corbin, I was just wondering, the familiarity of coming back here and playing 2 more games here after having been here the first 2 games of the series, did that help you guys at all, just as, whether it's sight lines or, dealing with crowds and fans or anything like that? Was that any factor for you or anybody that you know?
Those weren't really conversations that we had. I don't think anyone spoke up as saying like, hey, this is, hostile and terrible. Like, most of the conversations were like, hey, this is really cool. Like, they're into it the whole game. And so it was more of a, just a coolness that we got to play in an atmosphere like this. Just the people here care about baseball. I got heckled probably 5 times going down the street today. I walked a block. So just it's cool.
Greg.
Corbin, thank you and congratulations. You were a little bit down earlier in the series, finished off great. What were your teammates saying to you, and did that help your confidence coming into Game 7?
Yeah, I talked about this with someone earlier, just after the game, but it's like 6 games ago you would have said that I was the hottest hitter on the planet, right? And so I think just it's easy to get caught up in the day and get caught up in the minute. But just realizing that, that's all it is, right? It's just a little hitch of things not going your way. That was kind of my mindset. It's like, hey, and that's kind of just true in general of me too, is like, in the end, I think everything evens out eventually.
Down here in the front.
When you think about making the majors just a little over a year ago, then All-Star, the contract, the whole thing, and now being where you are, and being as young as you are, and then to come up so big tonight, is there something about how you've, over the years, just been able to carry yourself, people you've learned from how to be steady and not be overwhelmed by the amount of things happening, as good as they are?
Yeah, for sure. I think some of it is natural and some of it is learned, for sure. But yeah, it is cool reflecting back on that. I had a photo on my phone 2 years ago that like popped up on my phone yesterday, and it was me on my couch in Seattle watching the 2021 NLCS. And it's a picture of the screen saying that, and then my dog. So I shared that with some of the guys before the game today. It's like, how cool is this that I was sitting on the couch, probably still rehabbing at that point, and now get to play in the games. Just very fortunate.